Wait till we get a few bodies on, we'll get a wee chat, a wee live. Slowing the uptake, the old shadow ban's a nightmare, guys. It'll not take long. Hi Susan, hi Jaleese, how we doing? A few bodies then, eh? Mads, hello. Hi Andrea. So, Kevin Brainberries, how you doing, mate? I was wanting to talk, oh, Grim up north, Pixie, yeah, you're a few coming on now, that's good. It's weird, there's more people, there's more of you in the chat than there is on the numbers. Silly buggers. This shadow ban is a nightmare. Guys, what I want to talk about is the boxer Kell Brook, who's retired, Special K. Kell Brook, he's out of Brendan Ingle's gym. He's one of Brendan Ingle's prodigies. And Dominic Ingle took over when Brendan passed. So, I'm in the office, Paul. Hi Rotter, hi Mads. So what happened is, Kell Brook, there's a rag newspaper called The Sun. I hate even talking about it, okay, I would never even hashtag them. It's a rag, it should have been binned long ago, but for some reason it's still available. And it's a rag that's been telling lies for years, told lies about Hillsborough, you know, told lies about the good people of Liverpool. It's just a rag paper, you know, which is what you would expect from somebody like Rupert Murdoch and people of his ilk. They've released a video, you know, some scumbag in a position of trust filmed Kell Brook, you know, doing a bit of coke and sold it, one of his so-called friends. And basically that paper has run with the story, okay? Now, this guy dedicated most of his life to professional boxing. From he was a young boy, spent his life in a boxing ring, spent his life, you know, taking punishment and giving the British public some incredible showtime, you know, some basically show business. And I find it absolutely disgusting that a newspaper would do this. Kell Brook's a guy, clean living guy, he's never done anything wrong. From what we can gather, he's never done anything a wrong turn. He's been a consummate professional his whole entire life. And he was certainly an elite level boxer, you know, he's a former world champion. He fought some incredible nights. He stepped up and fought Gennady Golovkin, Triple G, you know, he shouldn't even have been in the ring with him, but up he went and done it. So he's a guy that deserves people's respect, and he's left professional boxing, okay, and he's gone to enjoy civilian life, and he's troubled. David Milne, how you doing, my man? Same happened with Ricky Hatton, you're right, Kevin. Kell has, obviously he's lived pure his whole life, you know, stayed away from alcohol, all the rest of it, from what we gather. And I know a couple of boys that are down around those gyms and kind of speak really, really highly of him. He's apparently very generous, you know, looks after those that are close to him, and he's just a good all-round guy. And he's made a mistake, and he's done some coke. And these scum newspapers, these are the very papers that are giving it all the be kind and, you know, men's health and looking after people, right? And yet, here's a guy that's tripped and slipped because moving from professional boxing to having very little to do, no fight camps, nothing to train for, just his money to enjoy. He's went and lived it up a little. He's took a bit of coke. It's not the end of the world. And they're slaughtering him for it. Now he's expected to do what the British public get used to, you know. They come out and they decry themselves and hammer themselves in public, and they give a big grovelling apology, and everybody then forgives them and moves on. And, you know, this is a British thing. In any other country in Europe or the world, they're like, who cares? But in Britain, we are conditioned to follow the newspaper narratives and expect the grovelling apologies, you know, like Jeremy Clarkson recently, he puts out a video about Meghan Markle, which probably wasn't, you know, too off the truth, really. apparently, if you believe it, I don't know anything about any of them because I don't care, they're not my people. But from what you read, depending on what you read, this Marco woman is all these things. So he then says some things that people say that's damaging, and he's painted in a terrible light. I don't read any of it, so I don't care. It doesn't affect my life. They're all just take-out merchants as far as I can gather. But Kell Brook I like, and I just think, what is it doing to his mental health now? His family get to see it, okay? Well, now he's got to give the grovelling apology. He's now got to go in front of the British press and say, oh, please forgive me, I've done wrong. He's not done wrong. He's lived, he's did a little bit of cocaine. Millions of people do it every day. He's not killed anybody, he's not harmed somebody's life. He's only really harming himself. Do you know what's going to do him more damage than the line of cocaine that he done? All the adverse press, the newspaper headlines, the crap on Instagram, the crap on Facebook, all the derogatory rubbish that he will now, or his kids or his partner have to read, his mum and dad, whoever he's got, I don't know. But this is what's going on, guys. All the bullshit. The guy's done a line of coke. He gave us 20 years of his life to entertain us in a boxing ring and take blows to the head and risk his life. He'd a shattered orbital, you know. Was it Canelo or Golovkin, I believe? I think it was Canelo he went in with, wasn't it? Obliterated him, you know. The guy's done, he's given his life to entertaining people, and now everybody's jumping on the bandwagon of slaughtering him, you know. Just slaughtering the guy. No, Charlie, you're right that, you know, he's in a closed, confined atmosphere, somebody's house, somebody he trusts probably for years. Some beggars sitting doing that, filming it, lifted a paper and sold it. The ultimate betrayal of trust, you know, from a friend. And they won't care because they'll have got epoxy 2 grand or 5 grand for the footage. These papers will throw 10 grand at a crap photograph as long as it sells headlines. And, you know, they're boxers. They are at the apex of fame. They're known nationwide. You know, the British people love boxing. We love boxers. We take them into our hearts. Ricky Hatton had one of the greatest followings ever seen from a British athlete, or any athlete on the planet for that matter. An incredibly likeable guy. His career finished and he got on the coke, got on the drink, he ballooned in weight, manic depression, severe mental health, you know, severe lows, going from the highs of filling stadiums and selling out Man City's ground to nothing. And then, you know, they try and find that high, they supplement it, they crave the adrenaline, so they take cocaine, alcohol, they go to parties, they get in with the wrong crowd, they just fall into what everyday people do, what they've not been allowed to do for 20 years because they've been on strict regime. You know, Dominic Ingle is famous, he wouldn't, you know, for his regime in his gym, he wouldn't allow it. He doesn't have his guys around that stuff. It's clean living or it's nothing. Brendan Ingle, that's what they built their stable on. And I think it's absolutely shocking. Don't support those rag papers, guys. Don't, stay away from them. They're absolute rags. Joe Calzaghe also slipped when he stopped professional fighting. Joe Calzaghe, 46-0, gives us his life in a boxing ring, loses his dad, Enzo, his mentor, his best friend, his hero, his trainer, his coach, his everything, his corner man, his sponge man. Enzo was everything. Enzo passes away and Joe slips. Does a bit of coke, relationship breaks down, the British media jumping him. He was the hero, greatest super middleweight, you know, of all time. You know, and then it's like, oh, he's a bad guy, he does this, he does this. What's wrong with folk? What's wrong with the mentality of people that they are desperate to see the demise of people? Especially famous people, they want to see them down. They're not happy that they've given them 20 years of entertainment literally for free. and the collective damage that, you know, comes from a life in a boxing ring. But they also want to see them, they want to see the best of them, but they want to see the end of them also. I don't understand that. That's thankfully not the nature I was born with. I'm happy to see people winning. But it just bothered me enough that I wanted to talk about it. I thought, what is going on with people? What's going on with these rag newspapers that literally prey on people's downfalls? It's disgusting. And that's not what we promote. That's not what I want to promote anyway. So good luck to Kell Brook. I hope he comes through it, you know, with his pride intact, because he owes nobody nothing. And he owes nobody an apology. It's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. And it's got nothing to do with anybody. It's no one's business what Kell Brook does in his private life. And I hope he also has identified the scumbag that betrayed his trust. Kell will bounce back. He's a warrior, he's a champion, a world champion. He's mixed it with the best of them, and he'll be back. And nobody, even his arch nemesis Amir Khan, you know, I bet he wouldn't even like to see his downfall. You know, there's respect there. Ridiculous, isn't it? Makes you sick. Anyway, that's just a wee thing that bothered me. I seen him having to give his stupid apology to people that he'll never know, and, you know, ridiculous. Hi Kira. I don't like it. I'm not a fan of that. And that's that. That's just a wee thing that we all need to keep on board and think about. When a decent person has a slip up, we don't pounce on them. We remember what they've done, who they are and what they've given. You know, that very different to somebody that's had a lifelong history of being an absolute scumbag. Yeah, we don't particularly care what happens to them, but Kell Brook's anything but that. So, and by the way, I was never a massive Kell Brook fan. I always respected him, but I never quite thought in his earlier career he had the beating of Amir Khan. Yes, he beat him easily late on, but Khan was way past his best. But I believe back in the day Khan would easily have handled Brook. I've always said that. So I'm not doing this because I'm starstruck with Brook. Fantastic fighter. Was never one of my big favourites in the British scene. He just wasn't. You know, but that's another story altogether. It's not about my like for him. It's the message. I want to mention the message and how we shouldn't be jumping in people for stupid little things like that. You know, the guy's done nothing but good throughout most of his life. But there you go. Just a wee short video on that particular subject. I'm going to get back into the kind of role of doing my videos and stuff. Every other day I'll get something up and get myself back on track, as I spoke about yesterday. Because I've been slow, and I'm glad January's gone now. Thanks Mark. I'm glad it's February. February I can handle. You know, the seasons are starting to come again. I like to see leaves in the trees and bits happening, and a bit of light, bit of daylight, bit of sunshine. I'm glad January's gone. I don't like January. But yeah, there we go. So that's it. Hope everyone's well. I'll see you soon, Charlie. I've still got that thing for you, and I've got a walking stick for you from Jim. So catch up with Charlie soon, hopefully. Get the camper back in the road. That's just about ready to happen. So there we go, guys. All good. Aqua Goddess, hello. Yep, not to worry. Just a wee video, a wee bit of a bugbear I had, and I wanted to get it out there. So big love to Kell. Aye, there you go. Well, guys, hope everyone's well. Hope you're all in good spirit and good health, and as always, we will talk soon. The weekend's just round the corner, and stay steady striving. Okie doke. Out to you.